Thinking about moving to Edmonton? Hold up, because this city isn't for everyone. Between the bitter cold winters and the constant road construction and layout that'll have you driving more than you could imagine, Edmonton can be a bit overwhelming if you're not prepared. So unless you're able to handle these 5 things, you might want to reconsider your move. Stick around to the end, because number 5 alone might have you second guessing your decision. Let's start with the big one, Edmonton winters. We're talking about snowstorms, icy roads, and temperatures that dip so low you start wearing your parkas as soon as you see a hint of frost. Winter here is just a season. It's a lifestyle. From November to March, temperatures can regularly drop below -20, and with wind chill, it can feel even colder. It's not unusual to have your eyelashes freeze up during a simple walk to the grocery store. And no, I'm not kidding. Ask any Edmontonian, and they'll share their own stories of how cold it was. But here's the thing. Edmonton has mastered its own art of winter. You'll see locals out for walks in the snow, kids tobogganing, and ice skating festivals lighting up in the dark months. You can also embrace that cold, and you'll find surprising amounts of warmth in the community. If you thought winter was tough, wait until you experience Edmonton's second season. Construction. The city has made plans to fill around 500,000 potholes in 2024. Seriously, that is not a typo. There are so many more road construction projects, 200 that are scheduled this year. That means detours, delays, and the ever-changing landscape of traffic cones. You'll feel like your GPS is more confused than you are. You know those GPS notifications that say there's a faster route due to road closures? In Edmonton, you're going to hear that a lot, and even times when the routes are closed. On the bright side, all these projects are making the roads better, adding LRT lines and creating smoother commutes in the future. So if you can be patient, you'll definitely see some big improvements. Then there's the urban sprawl and car dependency. Edmonton is a spread out city, and when I say spread out, I mean it's one of the most car dependent cities in Canada. If you don't have a car, getting around can feel like navigating a giant maze. With 77% of trips made by car, public transportation is limited, and biking can be also a struggle during the long winters. So if you're used to living somewhere walkable or transit friendly, this will be a big adjustment. I know people who have moved here thinking they'd just bike anywhere. Well, let's just say bikes collect dust, and Ubers are now their best friend. That said, Edmonton sprawl means you can get larger properties in a quiet suburb lifestyle without paying the downtown premium. Plus, there's plenty of space to enjoy if you're a fan of less crowded areas. Then there's a controversial bike lanes. Bike lanes are a hot topic in Edmonton. The city has invested heavily in bike building infrastructure, but it's not always popular. With the long winters, bike lanes are covered with snow and useless, and it's always up for debate. You'll see some people there using them in the summer, but most of the time it's empty during the colder months. That has led them to do a lot of infrastructure, especially for drivers who feel like the bike lanes are taking up road space for no reason, which is why you'll probably hear more than one local joke about bike lanes being just an extra snow storage for winter. And hey, they're not completely wrong. But if you're into cycling, and I mean really into cycling, you'll appreciate the effort Edmonton Bike Network is growing. And the multi-use trails are great for those in the summer months when the weather is nice. And finally, the one that surprises most people and often is a deal breaker is expecting Edmonton to be like Calgary. You see, Edmonton has its own strengths, but quick access to the mountain views isn't one of them. The closest mountains are a good 3 to 4 hour drive away. And if your ideal weekend involves hitting the slopes or snapping Instagram-worthy mountain shots, you're in for a long drive. But don't write Edmonton off just yet. We've got one of the North American largest urban park systems, with over 150 kilometers of trails winding through the river valley, plus Edmonton winter sports. Sports like Snow Valley and Rabbit Hill can provide you with a lot of extra seasonal skiing. All right, let's recap the 5 things you need to be able to handle if you're thinking of moving to Edmonton. Long cold winters that last forever, endless road construction, a spread out city that's very car dependent, a heated debate over bike lanes, no quick access to scenic mountains. But there's good news. Edmonton is still an amazing place to call home. The cost of living is plenty lower compared to major Canadian cities like Vancouver and Toronto, especially when it comes to housing. Plus, there's a growing job market, particularly in construction and healthcare sectors. With the vibrant arts and culture scene, from Edmonton International Fringe Festival to galleries and performances spaces, there's always something happening. And when summer finally arrives, the city really comes alive with festivals, outdoor markets, and long sunny days. So which one of the 5 challenges do you think you could handle? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're still excited about moving to Edmonton, hit the like button and subscribe for more real talk about what it's really like to be here. See you in the next video. Hopefully, you're not stuck in traffic or shoveling snow.